Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside, take a look outside our weather window. And boy, we had some very nasty air this morning. Things did get better this afternoon, but our numbers still pretty elevated all across the Wenatchee Valley with that lingering haze and smoke. And we will continue to see that over the next couple of days. And I'll tell you what, it is going to be beautiful today right through Thursday. If you have outdoor activities planned, make sure you do it. We're going to see near record high temperatures. Smoke, yeah, we will see that at least Monday through Wednesday. And then I'll tell you what, by Friday, big changes, a lot cooler temperatures. And check out some of these numbers. Wenatchee at the bottom of the screen down to the right. Look at our numbers. Friday, 62, 53 are high temperatures on both Saturday and Sunday with windy conditions and rain. And we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A 60-year-old George man was arrested early Sunday morning following an hours-long standoff with law enforcement after he allegedly threatened a man with a rifle. The East Wenatchee man accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of appliances, trailers, and construction material has pleaded guilty in Douglas County. And the second suspect was arrested Saturday for an armed burglary 2 days earlier that put 3 nearby Moses Lake schools on lockdown. But first, our top story tonight. A suspect was taken into custody early this morning in Soap Lake after a shooting that sent a man to the hospital and forced the closure of Highway 17. Soap Lake police said the shooting took place about 1 a.m. in the 500 block of Main Avenue East, with the male victim taken to the hospital by air ambulance. His condition has not been released. Police later surrounded a residence in the 100 block of Daisy Street North and just before 4 a.m. arrested an unidentified 29-year-old Quincy man. Highway 17 between 1st Avenue Southeast and 6th Street Southeast was closed off during that incident. A 60-year-old George man was arrested early Sunday morning following an hours-long standoff with law enforcement after he allegedly threatened a man with a rifle. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said Robert Weissman pointed a gun at his girlfriend's son about 8 p.m. Saturday as the victim was attempting to drop his mother off at Weissman's residence. That was on East Montgomery Boulevard. After deputies arrived, Weissman reportedly refused to come out of his home, so the Moses Lake Regional Tactical Response Team was called in. After several hours of negotiations, Weissman was taken into custody early Sunday on assault charges. Well, the East Wenatchee man accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of appliances, trailers, and construction material has pleaded guilty in Douglas County Court to 6 criminal counts. 36-year-old Enrique Juarez Rodriguez entered pleas on Friday to charges of trafficking and possessing stolen property. A police search of his home back in May found stolen items related to as many as 20 construction site burglaries dating back 5 months. In his plea, Rodriguez admitted possessing 3 heat pumps and attempting to sell a trailer stolen in those burglaries. Prosecutors say they'll recommend Rodriguez undergo drug abuse counseling while in prison. He's expected to be sentenced later this week. Well, a second suspect was arrested Saturday for an armed burglary 2 days earlier that put 3 nearby Moses Lake schools on lockdown. As was the case with the first suspect, 26-year-old Carlos Silva of Moses Lake surrendered after being confronted by a Grant County Sheriff's Office canine. The Sheriff's Office said Silva was located in a home in the 1200 block of Mather Drive in the Larson community outside Moses Lake, not far from Thursday's home invasion. He reportedly attempted to flee out the back door of the residence but gave up as canine Ito rapidly approached. Late last Thursday morning, a woman reported 2 men with knives were inside her home on Adair Street. Silva reportedly fled as deputies arrived, and 42-year-old Roberto Robles Meja was later found hiding in the attic by canine Jester. 3 schools were locked down all morning by that incident. The homeowner was not injured. Well, when we come back, Eastmont students will be out in force this Saturday cleaning up graffiti in East Wenatchee and Rock Island. Local officials and conservationists celebrated the creation of the Nason Ridge Community Forest over the weekend. And a Washington State ferry is once again named the Wenatchee today after 4 days of officially being called the Big Dumper. We'll tell you more about that. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Fellow Chelan County residents, this is Sean Smith. As a local business owner, I understand the increasing challenges of survival. And as a father of 4, I understand the need for a safe environment for our families. As a lifetime resident, I am seeing changes that are not productive or safe. As your next county commissioner, I will work diligently to make sure things get better. County commissioners face a lot more than just community development, and you must be prepared to work on all levels of county government. I am ready, willing, and capable, and would ask for your vote.
Hello, my name is Alan Blackman, and I am running for Chelan County District Court Judge. It has been my honor to serve you as a prosecutor and public servant. I have worked hard to keep our communities safe. I have the knowledge and courage, but also the compassion and integrity to address mental health and substance abuse in our local courts. Please vote for the most experienced. Vote for balance, compassion, and integrity. Vote Blackman for Judge.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Welcome back. And in other news, Eastmont students will be out in force this Saturday cleaning up graffiti in East Wenatchee and Rock Island. The Home Depot Foundation donated the paint and supplies for the students' Make a Difference Day project, and East Wenatchee police have identified locations needing cleanup. The school district said anyone who's been vandalized with graffiti can call 509-884-7169 to have their property added to the list of project sites. Local officials and conservationists celebrated the creation of the Nason Ridge Community Forest over the weekend. Supporters gathered Saturday at the Lake Wenatchee YMCA camp to mark the occasion. The Nason Ridge Forest is more than 3,700 acres that used to be commercial timberland. Back in the spring, a multi-agency effort brought the land into county supervision to protect the woods and watershed for salmon recovery and public recreation. Participants said Saturday's celebration was marred only by heavy wildfire smoke, which obscured the view of Nason Ridge itself. A Washington State ferry is once again named the Wenatchee today after 4 days of officially being called the Big Dumper. Governor Jay Inslee last week signed a proclamation temporarily renaming all 21 of the state's vessels after Seattle Mariners players. The MV Wenatchee, a jumbo Mark II class ferry, was bestowed with the nickname of Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh. The new names were to be in place as long as the Mariners were in the playoffs. The team, of course, as many of you know, was eliminated Saturday, and the Big Dumper ferry is no more. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm Kim Schreier, and I approve this message.
I'm the mayor of Wenatchee and a Republican.
And I'm the mayor of Issaquah, and I'm a Democrat.
We don't agree on everything.
But we do agree on this. Kim Schreier is doing a great job.
Because Kim works with both parties.
To get funding for our roads.
And better equipment for police.
She had 5 bills signed into law by Biden.
8 by Trump.
It all adds up to this. Kim Schreier is effective and independent.
And that works for all of us.
As nature does its magical change from the green of summer to the orange and red of fall, camping in your old tent isn't going to cut it anymore. It's time for you to get a great deal on a motorhome, travel trailer, or fifth wheel from Click It RV during our year-end clearance event. We need to make room for our 2023 models. Get 30% off, 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and receive a lifetime warranty. Come visit us today off I-90 in Moses Lake and see big savings at Click It RV.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. NCWLIFE reporter Jefferson Robbins sat down last week for in-depth interviews with incumbent Bryant Burnett and challenger Mike Morrison, the two lawmen seeking your vote for Chelan County Sheriff. You can watch those full interviews here on this channel at 9 p.m. tonight and Thursday, 8 p.m. on Wednesday, and 8 a.m. Saturday. We've also got extended interviews on our website, ncwlife.com. In tonight's features story, here's an excerpt of what the two candidates had to say about Chelan County's crime rates.
The crime rate in 2021, according to Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, was about 14.7 per 1,000 members of the Chelan County community, which was down about 34% from 2020. So if Chelan County is looking down the barrel of a crisis, how do we explain this decline then that happened year over year between 2020 and 2021?
Yeah, I think you're going to find out as 2022 numbers and 2023 numbers will be much different. I think we're coming out of the COVID crisis. One is people were staying home and we weren't doing the enforcement. It wasn't the proactive enforcement for most of 2020 and then part of 2021 as well. And then we got hit with the legislative reform that we had from the Washington state legislation, and it changed the way that we would be arresting. So your drug crimes, obviously, because now we're going off of drug referrals for the most part until you have a prior to referrals, and then there was no system set up statewide in the beginning to even track those referrals. So, and we're seeing that in the state of Washington, prior to July of 2021, we were averaging about 2,000 stolen vehicles per month in the state of Washington. As soon as that reform went into place, and we're going to obtain this to mainly to the pursuit law changes, was that drastically upticked immediately and went to about 4,000 to 5,000 per month.
If this incumbent sheriff is doing so poorly, how explain the decline in crime?
Well, you look at COVID, that a majority of our citizens stayed inside the house, and we've seen even our calls this year are down. So it ebbs and flows. I would say that our gang activity has certainly spiked quite a bit. We have a major drug issue coming. So yes, some calls have gone down, but also there are a lot that we have just come out and said we're not going to respond to anymore, or we're not going to handle. I know a lot of citizens, since I've been out here running for office, have said, we want to know why you won't respond out to our residences to deal with our issues that we're calling in, or why we don't get a phone call back. And I've been surprised at times that we just say, close it out, we're not going to handle that. So we need to get back to focusing on the community and its needs, even if they're not major crimes. And the ones that we do have that are major crimes, we need to figure out solutions on what we're going to do to resolve them. I think the citizens of Chelan County here are definitely seeing that we have an uptick in violent crimes, especially gang-related, and that's where our focus needs to be. If anything, I would say this is a perfect time for us to put all of our attention and focus on these major issues and take care of them while we have the opportunity to.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your weekend was a great one. Weather-wise, it wasn't bad. We just had to deal with more of that smoke and haze. Still seeing a little bit of that as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. Boy, a lot worse air this morning. It did get a little bit better this afternoon, and that'll pretty much be our trend over the next 3 days or so. We'll talk more about that in a second. But a beautiful one today, 74 degrees. That's 14 13 degrees above what our normal should be now, which is 60. Our record high, 77. So we were flirting with that today. 1960, our record high year. 46 this morning, 40, our normal low temperature, and our record 28 set in 1984. We're still sitting at 6.3 inches of precipitation since January 1st, but that's probably going to change as we get through the upcoming weekend. We'll talk about that coming up too. 7:22 sunrise, and our sun sets tonight at 6:09. Taking a look at your Tuesday temperatures, a lot like today, and we're going to continue with that trend as we make our way through the week. Mid-70s, in fact, right at 75. Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, also into the Wenatchee area. Just a shade cooler in Leavenworth and Cashmere. The cool spot, Lake Wenatchee tomorrow. Still awfully nice with a high temperature of 67. As we take a look at tonight, mostly clear skies. Still, here's that ridge up and over the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to keep us nice, mostly clear with lows tonight in the upper 40s. Getting you into Tuesday, as we just talked about, lots of sunshine again. We're going to have to deal with a little bit of that smoky air tomorrow. High temperatures into the mid-70s, so a lot like today. Wednesday, same thing. We are going to see hazy sunshine, still mild for Wednesday. Midweek looks great with high temperatures in the mid-70s, and then by Thursday, we'll see increasing clouds. This will be our last warm day because you can see what's moving down from the Gulf of Alaska, and that is really going to affect our weather by the end of the week. So enjoy Thursday with high temperatures in the mid-70s, and here we go on Friday. Big wind associated with this area of low pressure, and here's the frontal boundary extending over into Washington. Look, by Friday night, all of the state will see rain and maybe even some heavy rain in western Washington. That trend is going to stay with us on Saturday too, with showers, much cooler highs with only temperatures in the mid-50s, so a 20-degree cool down. And getting you into Sunday, one storm moves through and another storm begins to make its way in again, and it's bringing a lot of wind. We are going to see rain likely on Sunday. Once again, parts of western Washington could see heavy rain and even, yes, snow in parts of the Cascades as we get you into Sunday with high temperatures again only in the mid-50s. So big changes are upon us. 74 today, 75s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A little bit of haze on both Tuesday and Wednesday. I think we'll get that out of here on Thursday with partly cloudy skies and 75. And then look at those changes. Friday, partly cloudy, turning cloudy in the afternoon. Good chance for rain developing late in the day through the evening in 62. Just showers on Saturday, but boy, much cooler in 56. And then a really good chance for rain once again on Sunday. It's going to stay cool with high temperatures then at 55 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Don't stress, just save up to $200 on select tires with financing at our Les Schwab Fall Tire Sale. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And now it's a sports update
on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. 47,690 fans that jammed into T-Mobile Park for the first Mariner playoff game in 21 seasons witnessed an incredible game Saturday. Seattle and Houston played 18 innings before it was settled. Unfortunately for the partisan crowd, didn't turn out the way they wanted. Jeremy Pena's leadoff home run at the top of the 18th was the game winner for the Astros as they topped Seattle 1-0 and swept the best-of-5 American League Division Series.
Third time through, it's Altuve. Breaks his bat. Little jam shot, and France is right there to make the catch. Oh, he tagged him for the out. It's a double play. Maldonado is saying he forced him off the bag.
I think his left foot was off the bag, and I think he had tagged him. You see Dusty. Dusty's not challenging this. He's coming out to argue interference. Oh, yeah, look at that. See, his foot's not on.
What a heads-up play
by
Ty France.
I guarantee you they're not excited, the analytical people, BA, about Altuve seeing him for a fourth time.
And he got him! A swing and a miss for the strikeout to end the inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down he goes! Cheddar cheese for his second consecutive strikeout.
And it's just another, almost the exact same pitch. 101, tailing up, away, and blows it right past Alvarez. Wow.
World class. Bills in motion now. Astros have runners at second and third. Gurriel carries the go-ahead run. Scoreless game, Frenchie, and Matt Brash is on the pitch.
Well, he's going for the strikeout right here.
Brash deals, and a swing and a miss. A strikeout for out number 2. Bregman and Tucker aboard. First pitch to Gurriel in the air, right center field, hit pretty well. Rodriguez on the run, and Rodriguez makes a great catch. Bregman will tag and go to third. Oh my goodness. The ground he covered off the charts. Julio Rodriguez kicking it into 5th gear to make this play. Jeremy Pena will lead off for the Astros here. 3-2 pitch. In the air, deep left center field, hit well. Rodriguez on the run, and it is gone! Oh, Jeremy Pena sends one to the seats, and the Astros lead 1-0 in the 18th inning. This kid is the real deal himself. The Astros an out away from punching a ticket again to the ALCS. Could end right here. Garcia deals. That ball's hit well to center, but right there. And Dubon puts it away, and the Houston Astros survive.
Carlos Santana, the only Seattle batter to have more than 1 hit. 18 pitchers combined for 42 strikeouts in the 18-inning marathon. Manager Scott Servais says he's proud of his club and is assured this series will benefit the Mariners in the future.
You know, we're right there. You look at the whole series, it comes down to 3 swings of the bat. Certainly Jordan got us a couple times in Houston, and Pena with a big one tonight. But some kind of pitching performance on both sides. Really, offense was hard to come by, obviously. Hits, base runners, anything. I thought our pitching was just off the chart, starting with George Kirby. To fire him out in a must-win game, and you get 7 shutout innings out of a rookie against that club. You can't ask for any more. I thought he was outstanding, commanded, was in total control. Great experience. The number of young players that played huge roles for us in this series, it is going to benefit us just immensely going forward. And, you know, I talked to the team a little bit about after with the game. And the one thing about this team, and, you know, I've said it all year long, it is the epitome of team. These guys really do. They care for each other. It's a brotherhood in that clubhouse, and it is something that's going to serve us well and certainly serve our core, all the players well going forward. As we took a huge step as an organization this season. So I go on and on. That was a long game. There's a lot to unpack. But, again, thank you to the fans that were there tonight and just leaving it all out there in support of us.
Houston advances to its 6th straight ALCS, but we won't know whom they'll face until after tonight. Cleveland and New York are playing the 5th and deciding game of their ALDS. It's underway. Guardians came from behind with a walk-off 6-5 win Saturday, and the Yankees stayed alive with a 4-2 win yesterday. Today's game is on TBS. It'll be Philadelphia and San Diego for the NLCS after the Phillies beat Atlanta 8-3 Saturday to win its division series 3-1. Padres advanced with a 5-3 decision over the Dodgers in Game 4 of their series on Saturday. Game 1 of the NLDS NLCS, that is, will be tomorrow. San Diego, the location, 5:03 game time on FS1. Well, the only high note for Northwest sports fans Saturday was that the Huskies won. Michael Penix Jr. threw for 516 yards and 4 touchdowns to lead Washington over Arizona 49-39 at Husky Stadium. Oregon State rushed for 203 yards. Jack Coletto ran for 2 short touchdowns in handing Washington State its 3rd loss in 4 games, 24-10 the final. Sacramento State rushed for 385 yards as a team. Hornets demolished Eastern Washington 52-28 on the red carpet. Central Washington's defense held Midwestern State scoreless in the second half. Wildcats won their homecoming game at Tomlinson Field 17-10 the final. Seattle Kraken fell to 1-2 in the NHL season with a 5-2 loss to Vegas on Saturday. Golden Knights raced out to a 5-0 lead before Seattle got off the schneid in the 3rd period on goals by Justin Schultz and Jaden Schwartz. Kraken back on the ice tonight at 7 o'clock against the Carolina Hurricanes. Climate Pledge Arena, the place you can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. Meanwhile, Wenatchee Wild are in Chilliwack for the next 2 nights, participating in the BCHL Showcase. This after a 5-2 loss on the road at West Kelowna on Friday. Wenatchee takes on Langley tonight, and then the Chiefs tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Wild finally return home to the Town Toyota Center for the first 2 games of the home schedule, Friday and Saturday against West Kelowna and Penticton. You can go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com if you want to get tickets on that. Well, turning to high school football on Friday, Wenatchee celebrated a milestone achievement for its coach on Friday. Scott Devereaux earned his 100th win, leading the Panthers to a 43-0 win over the Davis Pirates. Wenatchee's homecoming, if you will. The game had to be moved to Quincy due to poor air quality. Wenatchee rushed for 5 touchdowns on the night, pick 6 as well. They improved to 2-2 in Big 9 play. Mose Lake built a 14-12 halftime lead and held on to beat Sunnyside 21-19. Grizzlies scored with under 3 minutes to play to narrow the gap to 2, but the Mavericks held the ball and ran the clock out to remain unbeaten in Big 9 play. West Valley won the Battle of Yakima, downing Eisenhower 38-0. Eastmont's game at Skyline on Saturday was canceled due to the poor air quality. Omak claimed the regular season Caribou Trail League title with a 33-15 win over Cashmere. The Pioneers improved to 3-0 in league play with just 1 game remaining on the league schedule. Cashmere dropped to 1-1 in a 3-way tie with Cascade and Chelan. Chelan, by the way, won their homecoming game Friday over Quincy 38-14. Poor air quality caused the cancellation of Cascade's homecoming game. Rats. Ephrata picked up a win in Central Washington Athletic Conference play with a 47-10 decision over Grandview. Zilla won a non-league game over Sela. Othello continued its winning ways with a big win over Ellensburg. That ensures the Huskies the regular season CWAC League title. And in Central Washington B-League play Friday, Tonasket tumbled Oroville 69-0. Liberty Bell beat Bridgeport 70-30. Okanagan improved to 7-0 with a 42-7 win over Lake Roosevelt. And he had stopped Soap Lake 76-14. Let's look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com, or you can give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us. Have a great night.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
The NCWLIFE channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCWLIFE channel today.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.